about the hierarchy of an athlete. When you're thinking about CrossFit in general, I want you to think about like luck and hedging your bets. So on the sickness, wellness, fitness theme, as you are exercising, while I do want you to have all of the weight loss goals and all of the aesthetics that come along with having an athletic body, what I really want you to be is capable. Capable to just navigate life. So that as you move from high blood pressure, pre-diabetic, difficult diagnoses, on multiple prescriptions, and then we start to get healthier. We start to navigate this thing called wellness. We're like, okay, some of my values are getting better. My body composition is improving. My lab values are getting better. The doctor says, keep it up. And then you get, for lack of a better term, fit as fuck. You know, we are optimal. We are individuals that have emergencies or disease pathology that presents itself. And because we are capable, it's not luck that you survive or thrive through that scenario. You have hedged, because you're not suddenly going to go from fit to sick. You will work your way backwards. And at some point in time, your capacity will make it so you don't get very sick, get very ill, let the disease overtake your lifestyle, or, die. Now, that being said, we're all going to die. It's the quality of life and the longevity of that quality that matters. All right, so that's really what we're going to talk about today by talking about this pyramid. So, when I think of the pyramid, I have to start from the bottom. I have to start from the base. And the seminar staffers will always start with the same statement: nutrition is the base of the pyramid. Fair. True, but I want to have a Q&A with you. I want to have a lot of dialogue. So most of my lecture today is open forum questions and answers, or like provoking thought. So don't be afraid to ask a question or interject. I want you to. If you're introverted and that's not your style, I challenge you. If there's a question inside your head, get it out. If you have a question, there is a high likelihood amongst the 20-something people that are in this room that they might have a very similar question. And I am not saying that I have all the answers. I have prepped for this lecture, but let's see where this conversation navigates itself, okay? Cool? Is that an agreement? Group participation? All right. So my first question is based on the base. If nutrition is the foundation of the pyramid, why are so many of us prioritizing training over food choices? Anybody have that experience? Go ahead. You have a question?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing, yeah.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Go ahead. Food does taste good. Some food. Go ahead. What's your answer to this?
It's because of how we were taught to grow up and what to eat.
All right. So a little bit of environmental. Mm-hmm. All right. When you exercise, or if you had this experience, don't you just feel better after? Dopamine is a very powerful catecholamine. You can get it in good ways, and you can get it in bad ways. And dosage matters. So, you don't feel all that great. You're not feeling it. And then you went to the gym that day, you came here to Midstate, you did a workout. Oh man, I feel better. That's the glorious power of dopamine. You can get the same thing from drugs and alcohol. We choose healthier choices. But that also means that I have to convince you, we, the coaching staff, you yourself, have to convince yourself in the mind and the spirit to make that change. The nutrition, the base choice, the hard part, it happens in the heart and in the spirit. You already know. You know to eat the bananas, not the donuts. You know. I don't have to tell you anything you don't already know. I mean, it is 2025. We are filled to the brim with influencers who either do or do not know what the fuck they're talking about. But it has to happen for each of us individually to make those food, dietary choices, deal with our vices. All right. So if we are going to have fitness or the act of exercising be the first thing that we do, can we out-train a poor diet? Why? Why don't you think that if I just eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, can I just out-train if I eat donuts on the side a little? Or, like ice cream at night. A little bit of Mexican carne asada supreme 3 to 5 days a week. Not saying that's what I'm doing, I'm just saying I might have done something like that in the past. We live in a calorically rich environment in the modern world. The government, different entities, Philip Morris, they have made such amazing, delicious, satiable food, and it is super duper calorically dense. That's not how monkeys and Homo sapiens most of history have operated. We usually had to eat a lot of food that was tough to chew on, a lot of vegetables that were real hearty, not that filled with sugar. Now, I'm very happy that agriculture has done what it does, but you have to be aware of, do I understand the words on this packaging? Can I pronunciate it? What is a preservative? What is a dye? These are all things that on the marketing side could scream health. You're like, look at this packaging. This looks pretty healthy for me. And it's all so insidious. So it's really hard to out-train a poor diet. Okay? How do you think your performance at life would improve if you increased your choices on the base of the pyramid by like 10%? Nothing crazy, 10%.
I'd feel a lot better. I'd move a lot better.
Do you think it would be 10% better? Do you think it would be like squared or cubed? Like your return on investment would be more than 10%? Yeah, I would argue that if we even just did the simple shit well, a better breakfast, a better dinner, skip the dinner dessert, those simple choices would probably have profound impact. Do you agree, Mark? Just like something real simple, one habit change, 10%. So that's like 3 Mexican carne asada burrito supremes a week instead of 5. All right? Los Gordos and Witten is super, super good. Just saying. I'm just saying. Right? I'm here late at night. I gotta eat something. Gabby's like, you will not take away my carne asada fries. But maybe we have a salad with rotisserie chicken for lunch. Maybe we have 2 eggs and sourdough with breakfast. Maybe we eat a better fat source, like instead of a margarine, we have a butter. Things of this nature, 10%. All right, so if nutrition is the base of the pyramid, and we all agree that it is inverse, you get used to exercising, and then you circle back to nutrition, we all agree that that is the common denominator, although there are definitely some people in mid-state who are like, I dialed in my nutrition, life is good, I'm plateauing, I'm coming to you for some expertise. That does exist too, but those people are rare and badasses. Most of us are the common folk, and we're just doing the best we can, and we love dopamine hits from exercising, okay? All right, so let's move up one tick. Metabolic conditioning. What in God's green earth does that mean? You know what that means? No? All right, goddamn baseball players. But Gina, do you know what that means? Do you know what metabolic conditioning means?
No.
All right. There are 3 pathways that you have as an animal. You have your phosphocreatine, you have your glycolytic, and you have your aerobic. All right? This is how you get work done. Anybody heard of the Krebs cycle? Glycolysis? Anybody been a biology major, wanted to be a nurse? Jen just finished school less than a year ago, and she's like, God damn. I swear to God, if you make me to explain the Krebs cycle right now, I'll freaking fight you. I believe it's a soccer daddy. Okay. We're in like a world of definitions still. Okay. Phosphocreatine. There's a baby underneath the car, and you need to deadlift that car off that baby. It takes moments, seconds. You don't need any oxygen at all. Okay? All right. You need a dead ass sprint, 400 meters. You need to go to the fire. You need to go to the fire. I'm going right now. Pull the hose. Jake, pull the hose. Go. I don't understand why he doesn't just like no, all right, this doesn't work like that. We want to move quickly. I'm gonna burn out quick, less than 2 minutes, less than 90 seconds, go. You need some oxygen, but you'll burn out. Aerobic, we're running. Not too hard, not too fast. You get through the like, oh, my back hurts. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm in the sweet spot. I will trot this whole 10K. Because that's how I run.
And you have to like widen your legs.
Spread your legs out a little. There we go.
Thick thighs save lives, guys. All right, so CrossFit, how do you think, what was the average time of this week's workouts?
15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes.
Everything less than 20 minutes. We as CrossFitters, through the CrossFit methodology, and there's different methodologies to exercising. Some are better than others. I'm a bit biased. Everything else sucks in comparison to CrossFit. You know, that's my opinion. I want capacity. So we prioritize power output. We prioritize short interval training, intense, varied, not random workouts. So the definition of CrossFit is a constantly varied, functional movement performed at relative high intensity. What in God's green earth does that mean, Roy?
Oh, short burst of energy.
Let's bring it back up. What do you think constantly varied means? Is that random? Am I just making shit up?
No.
All right.
No.
So there's like a method to the madness.
Yes.
All right. Functional movement is a catchphrase. Do you agree, Roy? Like that, like 10, 15 years ago, functional fitness just came into the ether?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Being able to use what we do in CrossFit in everyday life.
Right. So you should be able to apply what you do inside the classroom to whatever it is that you want to do.
Yes.
Okay? Constantly varied functional movements performed at relative high intensity. What do you think relative high intensity means?
Where you're able to maintain it for a time period. It's not a short burst.
All right. I'm gonna fix up his words a little bit. If Dan does a workout and it takes him 7 minutes, and Sid does a workout and it takes her 7 minutes, did they both have the same type of intensity?
No.
Yes.
What if her weights were a little bit lighter and his weights were a little bit heavier, and you know, he was doing something just a little bit deeper on a pull-up, and he was doing chest bars and you were doing pull-ups? Did you have pull-ups?
It depends.
Scenario?
Good answer. Everybody here in any classroom, we are aiming to meet you where you are at on that given day. All right? We're trying to find a way where if Dan or Dan or Dan or Dan or Dan or Dan are doing a workout, and Enid and Gabby and Junior and Ruth are all doing a workout, we're all experiencing the same stimulus. We're all feeling the same type of exercise. Even though we make modifications, scaling options, changes, so that we can meet you where you are at. And over the course of time, we can find fitness. So fitness is defined as work capacity over broad times and modal domains, going back to that constantly varied. We want to have it switched up and moved around, but it should allow us to meet those very short, mediums, and long capacities. Okay? Just, do you think that if somebody has great endurance, like aerobic capacity, but are not very strong, are they fit?
No.
Jessica Reed. That you said that. You have such a kind and gentle manly voice. What do you think?
Kind and gentle.
Are they fit? Yeah, are they fit? Based on the definitions of.
Not necessarily.
Okay, not necessarily. Refine your statement. Not necessarily. Why not? What if I can run a marathon, but I can't pick up all the groceries at the same time?
You're not well rounded.
Yeah, but you have to, I mean, you know me, I don't know, flexibility. You need to be like flexible and be able to
Oh,
move
okay.
your body.
Modal domains. Who knows the 10 general principal skills? Who does it? Who knows it? Who knows it? All right. Come here, CFL3. Stand up.
I have to say all of them.
Yes.
You just said you knew them all.
Stand up. I want to know all the 10 principal skills. Okay. What is the first one? Help me keep track in case she gets all awkward.
I'm gonna get all awkward.
Okay.
I'm weak. We have flexibility.
Okay, flexibility. She's gonna make it weird for me. All right.
We have strength.
That's not a word.
Oh, anaerobic.
No.
No. You failed me.
Okay, this is terrible.
Okay, let's start with S.
Balance, coordination, accuracy, agility. I know them.
Lights getting bright.
Strength. Stamina. I say stamina.
Nope, not yet.
Don't tell me I know them. Power. Don't tell me I know them.
You can do this. I believe in you.
Did I say accuracy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ability?
Yes. Give me an E.
Endurance.
Yes. God knows. Oh, I know which one. One more S. It's
Sports?
no. It isn't sports. All right, but I don't even know
Wait,
what.
speed!
Yes, we did it. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. Strength, endurance, flexibility, cardiovascular endurance, coordination, accuracy, agility, balance, and in between these two leaves speed and power. All right? So we want to be able to do all of those things. Coming back to you, Miss Jessica Reed. All right, so if I have great endurance, but I'm not very strong, am I filling this metabolic conditioning pathway base? No. What if I'm super duper strong, but I can't run without losing? What if I'm yoga flexible, but I lose my breath when I walk? What if I have lots and lots of strength, but I can't quite squat below parallel? All right, great. So we can't use what we're good at on that pie graph to our advantage. It doesn't apply us to life. All right?
I offered her mine too, and she said no.
Good job, girls. Good job. Let's give them a round of applause. They were in it. They were in it. All right. So we emphasize power. We want you to be able to move short, medium, and long. We want you to have great output. We want to make you capable. Now we start to dig into couplets, triplets, chippers, one rep type things. And we just do that in all sorts of different varieties. And if I have you do 6 rounds of air squats, and then I make you also do a bunch of front squats with a barbell, do we think, and some deadlifts, do you think that that variedness is gonna eventually make us better at, say, a squat clean.
Yes.
It's transferable. So I don't need to do back squat 5 by 5 every Monday for forever to make your back squat better. I have to just really make sure that we're hitting all of these pieces, and then we go back and test. Is what we're doing getting us where we want to be in the strength world? Is it getting us where we want to be at the endurance world? And then we get to pick and choose our poison seasonally. Oh, I want to focus on this right now. Oh, I want to focus on that right now. And we just bias the program. So far, so good? Enlightened? All right, let's move up one more section of the pyramid. Nadia, why do you think that I value body weight movement so much? Okay, fair. Why do you think I've biased it so much this week versus, say, an external load like something in your hands?
What do you mean, like
We did what, air squats?
body
We did-
conditioning instead
yeah.
of like weight conditioning?
I mean, we did a little bit of both, but we did a lot more body weight this week. Why do you think that is?
Because it was Bigger Friend Week. And
Oh, you're so sweet, guy. All right, great. If I'm working my way up this pyramid, CrossFit defined, yeah, don't worry, words, defines gymnastics at anything that is body weight. Can you move your body efficiently and functionally through space? It could be a burpee, it could be an air squat, it could be a sit-up, it could be a muscle up, it could be, I don't know what Dan's doing anymore, I don't even know their names. Tuck over, roll over, spin back, back flip into a muscle up. I mean, it's cool to look at, and it really is very much like Olympic level gymnastics. But if you're doing a ring row, that is as much of moving your way through the basics, the
Olympic level
foundations of
gymnastics.
gymnastics, as it is elite level stuff. Does that make sense? All right, Sarah, we're doing Q&A of group participation, so I have a question for you. How do you think mastering the basics of gymnastics would make you more prepared for life? Don't spill coffee on your daughter. But that is a good way to distract yourself out of questions. Oh no, she's in danger. If you can move yourself through space, do you think that you're generally safer out there in the world? No, the world is a scary place. All right.
People are crazy.
All right, fair enough. If you were more able to have balance, coordination, agility, accuracy, would you be more prepared to fight yourself out of that bad situation? Great. Are you always just going to have a bat with you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, Emma. Okay. Emma, where's the bat on you right now? Fair enough, right? Attack her! All right, this is your only chance, Jared. Okay? Okay, so if we can master the basics of body mechanics, specifically thinking about your joints, let's start from the bottom. If I've got poor ankle mobility, if I've got poor knee mobility, if I've got poor hip mobility, if I've got poor lower back or lumbar stability, if I've got tough shoulders, and I suddenly put a super heavy barbell in the overhead position, do you think it's gonna go well?
Ew, please stop.
I know. There's a lot going on there. While if I can improve your air squat, that next step up the pyramid that we're going to talk about is going to look a lot crisper. We're going to engage the musculature better. You're going to be able to perform more efficiently. If you couldn't control that external load in because you didn't have good body mechanics as the gymnastics, what do you think is going to happen to you? If you don't have good control of yourself and you have an external load, wherever it may be, what do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to crumble, is what she said. You're going to hurt yourself. So we, the coaching staff, the trainers, we want to see that you can move well then we start to use that relative high intensity to find loading that is more appropriate for you. And there's some pretty fit freaking people here at Midstate right now, so their external loads are getting awesome. Let's move up. Dan Mast. Why is weightlifting ranked above gymnastics, even though we all love lifting barbells so much?
You just said it, like you took an external load that you can use for positions this body has and be able to lift load.
Yeah, but we love it so much, I want to put more weight on the barbell.
You're right, it is paramount above everything else lifting. But it goes hierarchies. If you don't have the technique, you're not going to be able to get into you're not going to be able to smoothly into the positions that you're in. If you don't have the mobility, you're not going to be able to get into the positions required to be standard for the movement. And then if you don't have the strength, all of that, that's another strength issue at that point. So technique, mobility, strength.
So we want you to master the basics. Yeah, it's not sexy. I get it. There's a bunch of people on the internet squat snatching 375. I get it. I love watching the Dans do their thing. I get it. It's awesome. I love watching all these strong girls in the gym. Kate lift these heavy barbells. It's wildly impressive. If it was 2009, they'd all be like wildly famous with how fit they are. We just got really smart over the last 20 years, and all the D1 athletes are that much better than us. It's so crazy. But what's happening inside of here, 10, 15 years ago, this gym would be like, whoa. But we all got so good that the relative intensity is that much more efficient, that much more effective for individuals that are of that caliber, that our awesomeness. A squat clean at 225 is laissez-faire for a lot of men here at Midstate CrossFit. 225 was the loading for the CrossFit Games in 2009. Think about it. This morning I could go prepare myself and go squat 225 for reps. Back not that long ago, 2009 was not that long ago. I had already been through college, right? I'm not that old still.
That's like the goal.
Judge me, all right?
That's
And
like
that
the goal weight for women.
Yeah. It's like the goal weight for women now. The relative intensity is different amongst the peers. Okay? But, Gabby, even though we do want to have basics and the technique that Dan was just talking about, the mechanics, the consistency, and then the intensity, how do you think it refers back? How do you think that if we do get better at managing external load, will it improve the other things below?
Yes.
The yes is not the answer. I love you. If I can lift more, how does it improve my gymnastics? How does it improve my metabolic conditioning? See what I do with it? General physical preparedness.
Barbell is usually 135 versus 135 pounds. It's easier 30 times. It's easier, it feels, if you're stronger, it's easier to do that 30 times.
All right. Dan just described really quickly. Did you breathe there? That was amazing. Force times distance divided by time. It's measurable. We are going to have power output. So if I weigh currently I'm like $175 right now, and I do air squats, and I measure my top of my head and how far does it go down and how quickly I can do that over a course of time, short, medium, long, I could come up with a number. But I would have more power output. My body would have to adapt differently if I held onto a kettlebell, because I would naturally weigh more. And the power output of the force, how much is the load, the distance, how far did I travel, the time, how many times did I do those repetitions, will come up with a new number. That will have a direct impact on my metabolic condition. Your muscles are essentially sugar sponges. They're glucose sponges. They eat it up. So if I can optimize my nutrition and get better at the 3 pathways, and I have excellent basics, when I start to add external loading, if my nutrition is where it should be, my muscles will then be able to take on that nutritional value and they will optimize its use. So it's all one giant feedback loop so far. Pay attention to what we eat. Varied, not random. Own the basics of squatting, pulling, pushing, and pressing. And then when you start to add external load, watch what happens. You will wildly impress yourself. We have already seen so many success stories, be it in the spirit and in the heart of how people navigate life, weight loss, mental preparedness. All of this is to say that you can then go out and do things. So let's dig into sport a little bit. All right, what do you think this pyramid is talking about when it says sport? Sarah, what do you think sport means? I don't know, whatever you think. Do you think they're talking about like do exercise faster? What do you think that all this pyramid's doing for sport? All right, let's pause there. I wanted to bowl her thought. When I save your number in my phone, I save your name as first name, last name, mid-state athlete. That's how I see you. I see myself as a coach. I see my trainers and coaching staff as your coaches. And I see you and I observe you as an athlete. So that means, are we doing a sport? Are we doing a sport? If I observe you as an athlete and I treat you like, I treat myself like a coach and I treat you as a lifestyle and exercise coach, are we doing a sport?
Yes.
All right. But what if you're like Caesar over there and you're a freaking awesome soccer player?
Wait, who, me?
Yeah, you're
I'm not a good soccer player. I coach soccer.
You gotta, so they're on teams, you need glue guys. So glue guys are the ones that bring the vibes. They're not that good, but they're on the team. I'm not saying that's Caesar, I'm just saying like, you know.
I just coach soccer. I don't play soccer.
All right. Rick Marchini's out there somewhere. He is one of the best golfers I know. I went to lunch with him yesterday and his wife, little Valentine's Day double date thing. It was great. And this older man stopped him as we went into the restaurant and was talking about how good Rick is at golf. Now, Rick was already an amazing golfer. But CrossFit, the technology, CrossFit, the knowledge, it can make you better at life, at stuff. It could make you better at soccer. Rick wins golf stuff. You could be better at the sport of CrossFit. Me and Dan Mass have been training together for 12 years, and that's a real accurate number. He is fitter now at 37, 38 than we were training at 28. So let's go back to definitions. If CrossFit is constantly varied functional movement performed at relative high intensity, and fitness is work capacity across broad time and modal domain, then health is defined as work capacity across broad times and modal domains throughout a lifetime. And the graph can go up. We've had individuals who are getting further along in life, and then luck reveals itself. And because you have hedged your bets by preparing yourself across that graph, when shit goes down, car accidents, diagnoses of cancer, COVID infections, influenza in February. You don't get hospitalized. You just move through wellness. And wherever you are is where you might end up. So if you're uber fit, maybe you go to well. But if you're always living in well because you didn't really quite understand or grasp the pyramid, maybe you move from well to sick. So one of my mentors, Pat Barber, he says death to wellness. We're not in the wellness business. I'm in the people and the fitness business. I want you over here to the best of your ability. And it is as simple as 10% better. Pay attention to the 3 pathways. Lift heavy, lift medium, lift light. Move for short, medium, and long distances. Do that 4 to 5 times per week. And own the basics. Understand how your body moves, and if it's not in full range of motion, which whatever joint, ligament, tendon, or musculature that you're focused on, dial it in. Then use that opportunity to see what you can pick up, see what you can move. How good does it look? Don't worry about loading. How crisp is your movement? And then because CrossFit is a core training methodology, not like your abs, not like the midsection, but like part of how you operate life, you can then use this pyramid and all of these stats and apply it to whatever the fuck you want. You want to go golfing? You want to go skiing? You want to be really good at shooting? You want to be badass at CrossFit in general? You want to be a great soccer player? You want to be a great mom? You want to just not be tired? You want to not be pissed off at life? Do these things. Let the dopamine do its stuff. Let the community and camaraderie do its thing. And whatever you define as sport or life, that's what we're going to use our CrossFit for. Which is what I think Sarah was trying to get to, but it wasn't quite there yet. Does that make sense? Do you agree, Sarah, that that's what sport can be? Because you're all athletes? Cool. Agreed? Yes, sir.
Yeah, question.
Yep.
Where's sleep and recovery in there?
I think sleep, recovery, and food all fall in nutrition. You are the sum of what you consume, and that could be the things you see with your eyes. That could be the liquid that you intake. That could be the volume of sleep that you provide to your body. Nutrition, while defined as things we consume with our mouths, I would argue that nutrition is the environment you allow your body to take in. So that could be social media, that could be drugs or alcohol, that could be the individuals you interact with life. Anybody hang out with somebody and they lift them up? You should have somebody that lifts you up. Anybody hang out with somebody that pulls them down? Right? Quincy is a kind and gentle warrior and a goblin. All right? But we love her all the same. Okay, so let's talk big picture. Great, welcome to the madness. Okay? If one layer is weak, how do you think it's going to affect the above layers? What does this look like a diamond? What if we have the least amount of nutrition, a decent amount of metabolic conditioning, great gymnastics, and it went back up the other way? What do you think that's going to look like?
Not too great.
Refine it. Not too great. Wait, everybody's like, that's the answer. It's definitely the fucking answer. He's trying to get there. But like, why? Why can't I just be like a calisthenic? You know, like one of those people, the calisthenic people. I do 1,000,000 push-ups. I do 1,000,000 air squats. I do 1,000,000 sit-ups. How come that's not optimal versus this argument?
Because you have to work your way to that point and start.
All right. Anybody come to CrossFit and be that person? And it was like, I'm a body weight ninja. Gabby is totally a body weight ninja. True. I would concur. Anybody else anything nice to say to Gabby? This is her moment. All right. Yeah. Aw. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks,
I,
guys.
I also like her very much. All right. So we could fill the pyramid in just where we are, relative intensity. Gabby's got to really work on some of these things. She's not the heaviest person. She's not going to have the leverage to move weight, but she wants to because she wants to improve her metabolic conditioning, which means we need more power output. And I don't know if you guys know, but we are also just humans, and our nutrition ebbs and flows with the seasons of life. Sometimes we get bogged down in the business. We don't get to participate in sport. That drags us down. So while the pyramid is hierarchical, it's also theoretical. It's like the pie in the sky type stuff. But we're always aiming for it. Cool?
Cool.
Does your current training reflect this? Does it look like a pyramid? Or we're all like classic CrossFitters and just loading that barbell as much as possible? Because what did you say, Dan? It was something like, it is imperative, you said something like, right. So again, I get to, because you can get there, right? Has anybody been deterred because somebody who was an athlete in their class is suddenly lifting more weight than them, and that makes you feel shitty? Hungry. What are we eating?
You want to get there.
Right. Because there's a thing about competition that can be affirming. It doesn't have to pull you down. It can be you versus that 20-inch box. But it can also be me versus Fishman on a workout that I think that maybe I could keep him honest. And maybe I'll still lose, but because he's the pace setter, I fall into the fishnet again. Because power output, intensity, the opportunity to be in a classroom setting with peers is the variable most associated with positive adaptation. Gina, do you have a garage gym, right? Like, or have had a garage gym? I would argue that you had enough equipment to be world-class fit. Right, exactly. Will you? There's something about having somebody else in class with you, having the right environment, having the right peers that will allow you to do this. And while there are absolutely, of course there are individuals that can go into the cave and come out amazing, incredible athletes, I would again argue that as humans, we need each other. And this has become our clubhouse. The way we operate our clubhouse is through diet and exercise. We call that diet and exercise the CrossFit methodology, and we're just doing the pyramid. The pyramid is helping us make choices on the admin side so that we can deliver CrossFit, the technology, the knowledge to you. The Sickness, Wellness, Fitness seminars are about providing you knowledge so that you deeper understand why you come to class. Because I often find that people just come to class because this is what I do. But I love giving my athletes the why, because if you understand the why, you'll understand where to poke the intensity button. And once we start poking that intensity button, you'll start to think about 10% better. You'll start to understand, do the workout as prescribed. You'll start to think about why I harp on your body mechanics so much, and why I tell you to choose particular weights for particular reasons, so that I can then go and watch your internet so you can tell me incredible stories about how you've navigated pregnancy, how you've navigated life, how you've lost 100 pounds, how your A01C is better and you're off diabetic medications, how you're no longer on blood pressures, how you got a shoulder surgery and now you're doing CrossFit and muscle ups again, how you're fitter now at 38 than you were at 28. That's what fires me up, but it's doing the work. Does that all make sense? All right. I have one more question. Is this luck? Holmes, is this luck? Is any of this luck?
No.
Okay.
It can be.
It can be. Gabby, refine your statement.
Genetics could be something that was given to you. So therefore you were lucky with genetics, and so you're going to be better at some of those things based off your genetics that you were given. Your luck.
Or you could also have bad luck where something hits you that you didn't know was coming.
All right. So there's things that are outside of our control. All right? This is us taking ownership of our lives and manifesting ourselves. But people can get sick. People can get cancer. People can get car accidents or injuries and have slips and falls. Those are all true, and some of that is out of our control. It's not good luck. It's not bad luck. It's not the boogeyman. There's not somebody that's got it against you. I am positive of it. I've had terrible things happen to me. I've had wonderful things happen to me. There's no rhyme or reason. We're all just monkeys on a rock hurtling through space. All right? Just how it is. Don't overthink it. The universe is gigantic. Okay? Sit, keep it together. Just takes a bong rip. All right?
Hey, first of all.
I brought it. I want you to understand that we are here for you. If those good lucks happen, we want to know about it. We want to celebrate those things. But I also want you to know that you prepared for it and earned that shit. When bad luck reveals its ugly face, we want to know about it. We want to change and optimize what we're doing for you. We know. There's individuals in this class who have sidebarred with me about things that are tough. And we're just gonna make some changes and make some tweaks and figure it out and stay in contact. We're gonna navigate this thing knowing that we gotta come back to the pyramid. No good luck, no bad luck, just luck. And that's how we'll navigate lifelong fitness. Because what happens when you reach your pinnacle of your athletic journey?
Keep going.
You just keep going, man. Tomorrow. All right, great. You got that toned, athletic body you've always wanted. You see it in the mirror and you're like, fuck, I did it. Her name's Gina Gomez. It's called Maria Gomez. She's right there. She's a fucking badass. Gina, Maria. Right through you, right? A stud of a human being. Navigating life. Keep going. She's doing things she never thought possible. Keep going. Keep going. We'll navigate all the story as we go. All right. We are now going to transition. Did this all sound like too much?
No.
No.
All right, sweet. We now have to exercise, but I want to talk about luck one
We
more
get
time.
to.
We get to. Talk about luck just a little bit. Because consistency is the key. Consistency of showing up, no matter where you are. Having a bad day, show up. Having a good day, show up. Show up for yourself, just keep going. Life will pile it on. So every sickness, wellness, fitness, we do a workout. Today we get the opportunity to do that workout in honor of Andrea. Okay? Andrea, as you understand, because she's allowed us the opportunity to share some HIPAA about her upcoming mastectomies to manage a breast cancer diagnosis. Sometimes life just fucking pile it on. All right, so that's the theme of today's workout. We're gonna do a little general warm-up, nothing too crazy, and I don't know what our numbers are. Hold on one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,